Yeah, I'll make a motion to start the
All
meeting.
right, somebody second?
Seconded.
Okay, all approved, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, cool, awesome, Bri, thank you. All right, so today is the 24th, Wednesday, and it is 5:38 PM. We've got Rhiannon and Laurie, right? I said those both?
Yeah.
Okay. From OCPC with us. So for our agenda tonight, starting out, we're gonna just start with the Pledge of Allegiance, because we got the flag over here. And then we will quickly vote to approve the meeting minutes from 3:27. And then we'll start to discuss, let you guys present, and we'll go through all that.
Great.
All right, awesome. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. You want to come up? Okay. Was there something you want to bring up before we get going? Okay, you just listen in. Okay. So we have Paul Bunker here with us. He's on conservation, he's the commissioner of conservation. So we thought it would be good to have him hearing all this. And then we had a joint meeting with those guys 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
2 weeks ago. To discuss what Joanne has found so far and the survey results and what we've gone through. So tonight's great to actually go through what kind of the next steps are in the plan. And Brian's joining us obviously from afar. So once Liz is able to log on and share her
Not get in.
screen. Huh?
Not get in.
Are you on the same Zoom that Brian's on?
I am.
Because that's planning board.
Right, but I think you've been using our link. That's what I have.
Let me see. I can.
Let's see, if you can forward me the link that he's using.
Yeah.
I also have printed copies of all the materials I'm gonna go over, so make sure you
Oh, awesome. All right.
grab anything you want. I like to write on things when people talk to me because I forget everything.
Yes.
So I put the note copies out. So
Liz,
Help
I
yourself to
forwarded this
anything.
you
Okay.
right now.
You get enough copies or?
no, there should be. Probably all just stuck
All
together.
right, Liz, I just forwarded that to you.
Okay.
Maybe it is the same one. I'm not sure.
Take it, Brad.
Thanks.
We'll find out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When it starts, like,
One of these guys.
So I printed tons of
And
copies
then,
of
did you get one of these,
everything.
Paul?
Yeah, grab my card too if you're gonna head out that way.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, 1 second, Brian. Liz is trying to log on to the Zoom that you're on.
Okay, no worries, thanks for accommodating us remotely.
Yeah, no problem. I thought it was just gonna be Zoom anyway, so
I used the link you sent me, Nikki, and that worked fine.
Okay, all right, perfect, yeah,
With the same path code and meeting ID number.
okay. Well, let's see if Liz can just log on.
It'd be lovely if I could.
What's with you? Sorry.
Oh. And just send it to you, probably be easier
Yeah,
for you.
thank you, okay,
Just
good.
forward it.
I wrote it, I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, here we go.
You got it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I got it, thank you.
Who's the host?
Um,
Are you the host, Ian?
I think he must be.
It would be listed under Kevin's email, I think, right?
How did you get in, Brian? Just let you in?
Someone let me in. I logged in, it's waiting for the host, and then some host let me in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's not the smart board, that's Tapcast. If I could bring you out of Tapcast for a second, I could go into the Zoom meeting?
Yeah,
Is
go
that
ahead.
okay?
Yep. If you tap on
Good
open
start.
space, will it let you in?
Here we go.
There you go.
And then you should be able to share.
Yeah, and then I met.
Yeah.
There.
Thank you.
Okay.
Magic.
Technology at its finest.
Well, it's like just when you learn Zoom, they throw some other app at you.
No, I'm like, what is this
Like,
Tapcast you think you're talking about?
All right.
You should be able to join with CapCast
All
again.
right.
Oh, you got me to bring up the.
That's me. I need to shut.
Does she need to mute her computer?
Am I muted? Am I muted? No.
If there's a remote right there, you can mute the TV to,
Yeah,
prevent
I'll leave
that.
that too. I don't want to break things my first day in town.
No, that's okay.
I'm from around here.
All right, is that better?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm from Central Mass.
Oh.
I was in the Brockton office today though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that helped.
It's a long day for you.
Yeah, should we get on to Worcester tonight?
Oh, wow.
So I told her to talk fast.
Is it because we have all these mics on? Or does Liz have to mute her computer?
Yeah, you might be getting an echo from your laptop.
I am muted. All right, now you want me to go back into Tabcast? It's a lot of work for me today.
What's Tapcat? What's,
It's this, the mirroring system, so it'll mirror my desktop.
but if you're in Zoom.
I should be able to do it through Zoom, right?
Right, you should be able to just share your screen in Zoom.
What are you asking?
Can I just share the screen to Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you need to turn your speakers off on your laptop.
Yeah. I think mute and volume down.
Told you to do that. Those people at OCPC hurt my brain yesterday. So I'm gonna
Alright.
blame you guys
That sounds.
for the
shared,
chemistry
I think.
class in PFAS that I had yesterday.
Oh, yeah, well, I wasn't there, obviously.
No, it was,
I come for the bagels.
Yeah, PFAS.
Well, that's why I-
PFAS in everything. It doesn't
that's why I
matter.
went.
It's in our
Alright.
food, it's in everything.
All right,
Okay.
So, hold on, I was there, now why am I not in here anymore? There's our little,
Where's Brian?
Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I saw the presentation for a second, and then it went away, a minute or two ago.
Okay.
okay, hold on, here we are. Share screen.
Open space, did you guys have a chance to review, the meeting notes from 327? Yeah,
Yes.
any issues, any callouts?
No, no concerns.
Okay.
Vote to approve.
Roberta motions to vote to approve. Any second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That's a lag. All right, we approve the meeting minutes from 327. Thanks, Brian.
Yep, I can see this presentation now, so I'm good.
Okay, so we just have
No,
to
we
probably
You got a roll call when you have somebody using.
on, I do. What's that even mean?
You have to go through the board members and ask them how they vote.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Should we just wait to vote on the meeting minutes next time?
You can just do it now.
Okay. All right, roll call. Oh, Brian, you taking notes up on Zoom?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Roberta, how do you vote? On-
Yes, I
okay.
approve.
Okay, thank you. Mark?
Yes.
Approve.
Aaron? Nikki approves? Brian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Roll call, all approved, no, objections?
Dissenters.
Dissenters, okay. All right, meeting minutes approved. Thanks, Paul. I need a class in opening and
I
closing.
forget every time we do it, don't worry.
Ugh. Well, but this is our first time doing Zoom with a board member being not present, so. Okay, so let us give everything over to Rhiannon and Laura and Laurie, yeah. And go through this OCPC plan update.
I don't know why I can't get it any bigger.
Ian, can we make that?
Oh, hold on, hold on. Oh, I did start a slideshow, but it's,
I think it's the TV, not your, yeah.
that's why I went over and tapped it.
Are you on
Oh, there's an
Tapcast?
X
No, I'm in Zoom.
Okay.
There you are.
There we
Oh,
go.
there we
Thank you.
So,
Okay.
just out of curiosity, were any of you on the last open space committee?
No, this is a brand new committee.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So,
I was gonna say, if you
thank
need-
you.
It's easy to do that.
Yeah, and then I can just switch through as needed. Great, awesome. And then had any of you worked with OCPC on a project prior to this one for other things?
No.
All right, awesome. So, Old Colony Planning Council, I just don't know what Joanne went over, so I was just gonna give you a little bit of everything, and you can tell me when you're tired of me. So, we're the regional planning agency for the greater Brockton area. So we're coming to you from the Comprehensive and Sustainability Department, but we have projects and staff all across the board. So we do projects that are just mapping and updating for towns. We have an area agency on aging in our office. We work on economic development, and we do a lot of transportation planning out of our office. And then there's a map of our 17 communities. Awesome. For you to see. And then this is not mirroring what he's seeing. Let me.
Yeah.
It's not changing. It's. Hang on one sec. I think he's seeing a different
At the
copy of it.
bottom where it says slide,
Yeah, I think you can just hit that arrow.
see the little arrows underneath the map? I don't see it on your screen.
Yeah, because he's looking at a different copy. Hang on one second. There's 2 copies open. No, he's not.
Funny,
looking
they
at
did
that
a whole
copy
loop
either.
around
Okay.
Rockland, huh?
Try
Rockland's
the
too
third
good for the
option.
OCPC.
I think we're looking
Yeah.
at this one.
Totally cut them right out.
Then
Interesting.
I am just gonna go to this. This should
And
make
some
it
towns
bigger
actually
for all
have
of us.
both agencies. Some have
It didn't,
MNPC
okay.
and OCPC, and they pay fees to both.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You
Marshfield's
know.
one of those towns.
Let me just. I'm gonna X
But
this
they're
one
not
real
on the map
quick, and
because
then
They're a dual
do
town.
sharing.
Is Rockland the same thing?
No, Rockland's MAPC only.
MAPC. And what's the
Which is making this water thing fun.
Well, MAPC is the Boston agency. So they have 101 cities and towns. So the ones that are dual, they come to us because we only have 17, so they feel like they get more personalized service.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
Awesome. Okay, I think we're all looking at the same slides now, so we'll try this now. So, for the open space and recreation plan, it should be a roadmap for prioritizing open space and recreation projects, and it's a prerequisite for most of the conservation service grants put out by the state, which is great because when you're done with the process, you'll have projects you want to implement, and then you'll be ready to receive grants. It's importantly a public process, which is why it's so great to have a steering committee, especially a committee that plans on being active after the plan is done, who wants to engage in that implementation side of things. And then we'll also do 2 public meetings, which we'll get into. And then that is a list of the plan components. So the one thing that I will really reiterate with OSRPs is that the state put out an exact guide of how they want it done. And there's not really wiggle room with layout.
Okay.
And I say this because you'll see when we look at the timeline that we're going to be writing the chapters in the wrong order, because it's not actually how you would identify information making a plan. So just know that they give us a guidebook. We have a few approved copies from other towns, and we really use that to template yours to get it through as quick as possible for you.
Awesome.
So that includes that summary and community setting. Community setting is kind of like a data dump that you would do for any plan. Your environmental inventory goes over tons of different landscape features, your wetlands, soil, unique physiological features of the land. Your inventory of lands is when we start calculating your park spaces, what's in permanent conservation, what's temporary, and then you get more, and then you're finally starting to really get into the goals of everything. So what does the community need? How do those needs break down into personal versus wildlife? Versus water quality, and then you'll have your goals and objectives, and then there'll also be a backup 7-year action plan to discuss the timeline of how those goals play out before the next update. And then public comments, so through all the public engagement, all of those will be preserved in an appendix. And then the ADA inventory is also a really large part of putting together an open space and recreation plan. It'll require people from our team and your team out on the ground going through all the parks and doing a really deep analysis.
Okay.
So that is honestly one of the bigger bulks of work. So, and then open space, it's such a general term, but when we're looking at it through the state's lens, we're looking at conservation land, so things that are in a permanent conservation restriction, forested, agricultural, your athletic fields and playgrounds, any small pocket parks, if there are green buffers along roadways that are recognized as being saved for open space, and undeveloped land that is currently of conservation or recreation interest. So goals for today is to just review the contract and process, the timeline and the work that's gonna go into it. I wanted to review, Joanne sent me that you guys put together like a document like this and talked about some of the existing goals and objectives. I just wanted to talk through some of them just to make sure that I understood the direction before I wrote up what had been done and what we were keeping. And then I know Joanne went through the survey for you. I did we do like a little formal analysis write-up, so it's an appendix. I just wanted to go over, I pulled out some conclusions that I got from it, see if you guys had anything different.
I hope it's the winter park, the winter workout,
Winter Park?
the outside gyms.
Oh. There was a few comments about those for sure throughout.
There was a lot. That's why I say, they can't wait for the winter gyms.
I also got, everybody wants to do road hockey or ice hockey. So thought that was, it wasn't a long tally, but there was definitely a few people with an agenda who went through every comment and was like, I want my hockey. And I was like, noted, check. If we find a hockey grant, it's going in.
Yeah.
So let me see, what do I have next in here?
That's a pretty topical one because we have street hockey,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like when they move the fire station there, it's going to get taken away. So I think it's a top of mind for a lot of people.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
why
basketball
it's
court,
super
yeah, right?
important to have
Mm.
steering
Well, we're gonna
committees,
lose
and I
both
would
the
never-
basketball
And
and
the hockey.
Okay.
the hockey
Yeah.
courts that are down there.
Yeah.
And there has been talk, and it's only talk about relocating them down here, but I'm not sure where that left off. But there was a
Okay.
thought the town purchased, if you drive up Glenowitz Way on the right-hand side, there's 4 lots there, or 3 lots, we own them.
Okay.
So one of those was being bandied. But quite frankly, there was also, the Affordable Housing Group was also looking at that, to put some affordable senior housing across the street from existing senior housing, so.
Can I actually ask a quick question on the framework?
Absolutely.
Is there any section that includes historical or cultural resources?
Yeah, that's gonna be under, comes in a few places. It'll be under your community setting, and then it's gonna be under inventory of lands. So we'll go through and we'll pull all the state's information of what the existing inventory is. And then if you guys have an active historical commission, we can always meet with them and make sure we include any of their objectives. Was there something you had in mind or of interest in that?
No, I just know there's a lot of old granite quarrying over here, and there was old family graveyards and stuff like that. And it might just be something to people to know
So-
about.
The Historical Commission just got a state grant to update the inventory.
Awesome.
So, actually Kevin, in addition to doing your inventory, is gonna be the local project coordinator for that,
Okay.
because I am the local project coordinator for the bridge. So, I couldn't do both.
Yeah.
So anyway, he'll be, we haven't heard back from them after we got the award letter, but we have some CPA money, I think, that the Historical Commission applied for a year ago as matching funds, so they're ready to go. The library director, I think, has a short list of people that do that work, because it's a very narrow
Specific.
field to do it, so they should be ready to be able to go, when they get that, the award letter and everything. And I think it'll time out well for you guys, oh, that's me, to get that information into your report,
Okay.
right? So it should be no lift for you guys at all. I mean, you
Yeah.
can meet with them,
Historical.
and go over it, but they're definitely, that's on their
Awesome.
task list.
So if we're doing a draft before they're done, I'll take the current list and we'll just leave a note, and then once we're getting to that finalization process, we'll re-update. We can either, I know it takes the state a while to update the data even once it's sent, so if they have something more updated than I do, I can just, we'll merge it,
Use
we'll
it.
figure it out.
Okay.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah, the last list is 20 years old now,
Yeah.
maybe older.
And it's, more paperwork than anybody should have to do, so.
Anything with the government is.
Exactly. So I apologize, Brian, because I know the image of the timeline is fuzzy, but I'll have a digital copy sent to you to make it a little bit easier. But I printed these out for you guys, so
Thank you.
it's much easier to read than my blurred Excel table on the screen.
Can you scooch me one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So the top row for both tables is what we're gonna work on in terms of a month to month, and then I have the committee tasks in that lower row. So getting started, you guys already went over your OSRP goals, so I put that in. And then having our kickoff meeting. So I'll start to put together a website as a landing point for when you guys start, when we all start working on public engagement. Everybody will have a spot to go to. We can start by putting up the survey analysis once you approve it.
Awesome.
And then people can start to get interested in the process. So you'll see that the chapters are written out of order. Again, this is because we have to like go to the middle, get the data, match it with the community goals, then go back and do the intro with the goals that you guys want to work towards, and then finish out the end with the public comments. So it gets a little shuffled around, but this is essentially like what we can get started on first in terms of compiling data. And then, so as we finish a chapter or two, it'll go to you guys for review. Let us know if we missed anything. Let me know if I wrote the wrong town 20 times in a chapter. I have a habit of doing that when I switch between projects.
Yeah.
So you guys will have full review of it as we go through the process. Which will also be nice because as you guys are thinking about goals and things that you want over the next year, it'll be nice to see the data to back up what you guys are looking for.
Okay.
And then,
Question.
yeah.
In June 2024, you have identify summer public event to promote the open space. Do you think it would be a good idea, we have Founder's Day, to set up a tent maybe down on the field the night of the fireworks?
Yeah, I can ask Ken about it.
When does that usually fall, just so I know?
What's it, the 9th
Roughly.
I
and 10th?
think so, yeah.
Of
Yeah,
June. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's a second weekend, right?
Yeah.
I have to look it up on my calendar.
Why do I think I'm gonna be there?
You've already been voluntold for
You're only
something,
working.
maybe?
Yeah, I have been voluntold, I'm going. Is
Yeah.
June 8th and 9th, maybe?
that when it is?
I don't have it on my.
It's okay if you don't have an exact date. It's just
Okay.
good to, I'll keep it in the back of my mind. So,
And if that ends up being too quick of a time frame to get stuff together, we also have Oktoberfest.
okay.
Oh,
in
that sounds
the
like fun.
fall. It
Lori
depends
won't
on,
be
it depends on who
working.
shows up at the Lados, and that's all I'm gonna say. But it would be another opportunity, and then in the winter, they have Christmas
Great.
at Island Grove.
So even if for that Founder's Day, if we just have an active website and a poster with a QR code that can be put out with town resources, just that way
Be
people
great.
know it's happening. The sooner you get it out, we always say there's always going to be somebody who says they didn't know, but we'll do everything in our process.
Climate
Yeah, so that's gonna
resiliency.
be June
I'm
7th to
going
the
for climate
9th.
resiliency.
There you go.
Founder's Day is June 7th to the 9th. Oktoberfest is the 4th to the 6th. And then Abington celebrates Christmas is December 13th to the 15th.
Great.
So June. I'm a whiz when it comes to Googling. Okay, so June 7th to 9th.
Yeah, so then like the attend public events in September will probably get bumped to October. A lot of that is just tabling, just like letting people know that the process is happening and what they can do to participate. You guys did the survey ahead of time, so you've already got a large chunk of your public participation done and you had strong numbers. We can also we have like chip mail, so we can put together email lists from who left their email in the survey and build that list. And then we can send them out, like, if there's things that you guys are interested in getting more information on, we can put out, which park would you like to see the most updates over the next 7 years, type of things, just to get people engaged and following, just.
No, that's perfect. Thank you, Paul, that's helpful.
The screen did not lock on this side, so I don't know how to fix it on that side.
Oh, it's, somebody's face needs to unlock the computer, I think that's Liz. Your face
Can you
needs to
stick
go
your
on.
face in front of the camera for me? I don't think I can unlock you. There we go.
There we go. That was easy. It was my mere touch.
Mhm.
The punishment that was coming.
Let me get this. Okay.
And do you have to select Zoom on here?
Probably.
That's not mine. My family nets instant maintenance.
It might be up there again that needs to be switched. Because I don't think I can get to the Zoom tab on that. Can you try touching?
See, I wanted one of those in a minute, but now I'm
You're
not
gonna
feeling
wanna
so much.
You're gonna wanna select Zoom itself. So not tapping the screen, but the
That's
app.
Outlook.
Oh, go back.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
it's already
you are.
There you go.
perfect.
Nice job.
All right, that was my cue that the computer wants me to talk quicker. So go through this, and this is flexible. This is just to give an idea of 18 months is a long time to look at a project, just to give you an idea of how it kind of breaks down.
Okay.
Gives me goals to stick to.
Yeah.
Okay. So public participation, which is kind of filtered throughout this whole timeline, but so the survey analysis, I think what would be best to do is I'll send you guys the digital copy and you guys can read through it and just either compile an email or you can all email me, let me know if there's any changes.
Okay.
Or if there was something that you noted that maybe I didn't note it as repeats and comments. So I'll send that out to you guys, and then I was curious for advertising what you guys did for the survey, and if you knew if there were certain ways of advertising the survey that worked better than others, things to think about when we're moving towards public workshops.
Okay. Yeah, Liz did a good job with QR codes and posting.
Yeah.
And how,
In the
low
recreation
traffic
areas.
areas.
Okay.
So yeah,
Posted
I'm
some.
not going back to Highland Grove, though, just like,
Go where?
not going back to Highland Grove.
I haven't been there since you told me.
The scary man with the dog off the leash.
Oh.
That
Talking
was-
about the drug addicts down by the little house. I'm like, why didn't you call the police? Oh, that's what my wife said. I'm like, I need to go.
There were comments that echoed your experience while I was.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, who expects that down there then? What's
I
on
will
the
be
survey?
at
What does that
Public
mean? What are you
Express
trying to do?
down
I'm like,
the road. I will
maybe
be
you
there
could just let me
every
step
day
back
all
and read it.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
the
all
kids'
day, every
camps
day.
and stuff.
So we did a lot of social media.
Okay.
She pushed that out a lot. We also have our own app now.
Oh, cool.
Damage.
Yeah, so it's called the Green Wave. So we can send that stuff out ourselves now.
Awesome.
We can post it right in the feed and link it back to the page. They have an open space and recreation page. And then we have like a social media person who does that and posts it out on Facebook and Instagram.
So do you want OCPC to host a page then, or do you think it would be better if you guys already have?
They already
An
have.
active
They already
page.
have
It'd be
one.
fine just to have it
Yeah.
on
Okay.
our page.
I
Yeah, Or even
can-
just linked from, there's a link on our page that somebody can click to go to those.
Active
PC.
C-
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
we've
might
done
be-
that in the past.
Either
but
way, or I can hook you up with Sam, who does our stuff, and you can either send it to her and she'll
send
throw it up.
materials. Okay.
Yeah,
And then post
So
it
maybe
to our page.
we'll do a little bit of both then, because
Yeah.
we're doing
Mary likes the links.
yeah, and we're doing a lot of open space projects at once over the next year, which will be interesting for us. Everybody's expired at the same time,
Right.
so I think it'll be good for us to have like a main landing page on what an open space and recreation plan is, and then have little bump outs of like what's the current update for each community, and then I will double up by passing all that stuff to Sam,
okay.
and we can link that.
Well, she could put a button, because she's putting a button on my page and the water page to go back to the regional water study.
Oh, that's nice.
So all the stuff you guys are putting up, everybody will have.
You guys are so tech savvy. This
Yeah, I
is so
know.
fun.
It's
I
so
love
impressive.
I knew
this.
within the last, I feel like 6 months.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like coming together.
I'm gonna have to start using your pages as models for other communities. Love that. Okay. And then is there anything that you did that maybe didn't feel as useful? You don't think people responded to it as much as anything else, or?
Because all we did was a survey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
and I mean,
the QR
that was a
codes and-
fabulous response.
Yeah.
Because we did another study a couple of years ago about the Center North School, and we got a lot of response then, but I think this was doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Well, like
was,
800 something responses.
yeah, it was great.
So, I mean, did we have a table set up downstairs with anything,
We did, with the survey.
with the survey?
Yeah, and I had it at the library, and I had it at the senior center.
Okay,
That's where those pickleball responses came from.
yeah.
You're
I was gonna
Um,
say, pickleball is like, every town is.
Except
wanting
they've-
pickleball.
It's restricted to over
55 plus,
55 plus,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you're younger, you can't play
You can't.
pickleball?
No.
not in the town.
Oh, my goodness.
So
That's
a
gonna,
new one.
that's gonna come to a head, I believe, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's age discrimination.
there's a lot of people upset about that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Right.
And did you have complaints about sound? Because I've been hearing
Been
a
hearing
lot
that
of.
all over, yeah.
Yeah,
Where is it
Not here,
located? I
but
think
in
it's
other
located
towns.
In other
because
towns.
Very
Right, because it's down next to the
it's
dog
down-
park.
Yeah, and the railroad tracks.
Oh, okay, so it's a
The
good
loudest
spot.
part of
Noise
town.
area anyway, yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So I can add that to the beginning of the analysis because I didn't have that yet, where it was advertised. Great.
Yeah, so it was every park, Island Grove, the social
Library,
media,
town
library,
hall.
town hall, senior center.
So those three were those in
And
person?
included paper copies.
Those are,
Paper,
yeah, that's where the
paper,
paper
and
copies, and
got
then
that.
I added the paper copies into the survey.
I
She
saw that
gave
you
me a-
manually inputted.
Yeah,
them.
she gave me a backward link to get in.
And then down
Great.
voting too. You had the person
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
the
I had
paper
data
ones
voting
out,
too.
so that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have something for November, again, maybe this time with the QR code, but we could make that part of the community engagement. There's always a table down there that we can put community stuff on.
What about the schools? We never get the schools involved enough.
I know the
Um,
mothers from being at the schools we're talking about the survey and the
Okay.
pickup line for the kids.
Oh, that's good.
So-
Good.
Yeah.
And
Maybe if
I-
we could pass out some QR codes.
And
at
I'm thinking,
school.
I don't think it'd be a problem, because the school has parent lists, right, email lists? Right, do you get emails from the schools?
I mean, I don't have kids.
They
so.
definitely have my email.
Well, plus there's PTA, right?
Yeah.
You get,
Right,
which should have contacts, I would
And the
imagine.
boosters,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
still
so
have
you
the
could put 'em-
boosters, don't they?
Yep.
Boosters, yeah, you have the boosters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be good too, is the
Mm.
boosters.
Yeah. So when you guys go to do events, we can look into that.
see if we can use their, we'll send it to somebody and have them send it out,
Mhm.
Yeah,
instead of
absolutely.
Their network.
asking for the, instead
Yeah.
of asking for the emails, because they're probably like, maybe not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or if they have Facebook pages. or
Yeah,
something, they could-
I know the boosters do.
So I was thinking the steering committee would host their first public event in October. Maybe thinking towards the end of the month, so you could advertise for that at Oktoberfest.
Okay.
So you could put out like an ad, and then we could do something at the end of that month. It can. I'm flex. If it's like end of October is bad, everybody needs to do the first, second week of November. I don't care. It was really great to meet you.
Thank you.
See ya.
So, sorry about that. I'm just thinking if you have a public outreach event, that'd be good to advertise for. So that first meeting, it's nice when we already have it a couple months in, because then you guys you know the process, we're in it.
Mhm.
And then it'll be a presentation that'll be kind of like what I did today, a breakdown of the OCPC, the partnership with the town, the work that you guys are doing, why we have open space and recreation plans, and then the survey analysis and some initial thoughts, and then we can have like an open community discussion if there's anything else that comes to mind. So
Where do you think you'd like to have that?
I'm new to town, so you tell me.
So, here
Okay.
is fine, we could use the big room over there, but the school also has like a half auditorium. Has anybody been in
That'd be
there? It's like
nice.
hidden,
No, I haven't been in the
No.
house.
right? So
but
if
I
you
want
go
to.
into where that, through the front doors,
Yep.
it's like right towards the back, there's like a secret door, and
Oh,
it's
really?
all tech savvied out. It's
Oh,
fabulous.
no,
We
I've
did,
never been there.
We did some community meetings there for something else, and I can't remember now.
That would be
Maybe
nice, because we can
that's-
print and display maps for people to look at too, and get people moving
It's-
around.
And people are up
Mm-hmm.
and they can get out and move around. And I
Awesome.
think there's, space in the front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be good.
You wanna call it AHS, small auditorium? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a small auditorium.
So,
It's not the big one we usually use.
All right, we can
So nice
discuss,
over there.
we can discuss dates at our next meeting.
yeah, absolutely.
It can't be Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be hitting
I'm
close
not
to
making the
Halloween.
children give up trick or treating for their parks.
And if that gets too unwieldy, we could also try the library. They have a screen. You can do the thing over there, and they would have tables and places for signs and stuff like
Okay.
that. They have a community meeting room over there as well.
Awesome.
Okay, small auditorium, library, or is that Buckley? What's the big one?
That's a Cotter room.
Cotter.
Yeah.
Or town hall.
The part that gets kind of tricky at that time is we'll be having the November election, and we'll be early voting here.
Oh, right, in that room?
So they'll
Oh,
be
okay.
set up there to early vote,
Okay.
and that will depend, we have to set up for the week
Okay,
ahead of the election to early vote.
all right, so we'll just say,
So we can work
AHS
around
or
that,
the
we figure out
library.
a date,
yeah,
we can either do it here or do it someplace
Okay.
else. I can get the dates from Leanne
okay.
of when she's gonna,
And then part of the contract that we have with the town is that we'll meet with town staff. So do like a one-on-one with Liz, one-on-one with conservation agent. Another one I was thinking of is if every town manages parks a little differently. So whoever is actually responsible for park management in this town, sometimes there's a parks person, sometimes it's the highway department or a DPW or
Is it Parks and Rec manage it, or does?
so Kelly Johnson is the director
okay.
of Park and Recs, but John Stone is the director of the DPW.
Okay, so we'll do both.
That's probably a good idea.
Yep.
Because you're gonna get two different
Absolutely.
aspects.
Yeah, because I think something that's important is it's really easy to make a wish list. It's really easy to do it when you don't know what somebody's workload already is. So it's good to have kind of a checks and balance of,
And I don't know if you wanna talk to a member of the Park and Rec Commission. That would be a third voice over there that you could
yeah.
get their view.
We can meet with the whole commission if there's
Okay.
Okay. And we can meet with the whole Concom too. Because there's a lot of this is about land conservation too. Rec and Concom, awesome. And we said the historical commission. It's just good to give me a idea of who we'll be looking to talk to. And then if you guys think of others along the way, select board's usually a little bit good towards the end to kind of show them this is what we're headed towards and things that, and you said you have CPA, so you're
We're doing the CPA.
Yeah.
Yep.
So CPA. Anybody who's gonna help you fund your projects are the people that you wanna make
Monitor,
sure
yeah, have
are
a-
being met with.
Yep.
So make them feel included so we get your projects promoted and up on the list.
Do you want the planning board on there?
Yeah, go for it.
What's the date of your most recent master plan?
2019,
Good for you. Go girl.
right? Dan Crane did it.
Oh, that's right, he came to my office, now that I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did an update, very
He did an update with an
abbreviated.
economic development supplement. Well, we also had, which I thought ended up working out very well, the school affiliated with UMass, the agricultural school,
Yeah,
two of their grad students did a chunk of our update on that. Like, most of the stuff you guys will take out of our master plan, they did.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it was great. It was like things I never thought about before, like how do the animals cross the highway? Like when you're
That's great.
doing a subdivision or something like that, you should think about how the animals are gonna get from point A to point B when you've ruined their habitat, right?
Yeah.
You're so much more creative in grad school than
Right?
you get hired and you're
Their
like, I don't
brains
need
are
that
all
creativity.
wide open, have all sorts of fun ideas.
Government hasn't crushed them yet.
Right, right. So, yeah, so they did a phenomenal job.
awesome.
And then Dan did the economic development piece
No,
and.
it's that program that Avon's using. right now. If it's the UMass Extension
Oh, they
program.
called me about them
Yeah,
to get a reference, yeah.
Yeah, the UMass Extension program. It's
Yeah.
got a longer name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a something school. I can't even remember.
Wayne is part of it, but I don't know that he necessarily helped with. But
Yeah,
we're
no.
doing helping Avon with her MVP, and they're a part of that too. So, very great resource for the state. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. So most of the data's already been pulled for me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, anything we could.
Brian, any questions so far from your point of view?
The only thing I just mentioned is that from the website standpoint, Sam did give me access to update the Open Space and Recreation Committee page, so it's pretty easy for me to add stuff
So
if you want to go that route.
Awesome.
perfect, you can bypass Sam
Thank you.
altogether.
Yeah. Awesome.
And just
Thank
go
you,
right to Brian.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
I will write that down. Brian has login. Thank you.
And I
Do
had
we
a,
have to, any changes that are made to the website, do we have to get approval, or are we allowed to just kinda go hog wild on it?
no, you need approval.
Okay.
Yep.
I figured as much.
Yeah, any changes you make will go to Sam, and she will approve them. Same with the, and it's, when you do that, it looks awkward, because it doesn't say that you're waiting for anything. It was making me crazy one day, and I finally just called Sam, I'm like, why isn't this up? She's like, I have to approve it. I'm like,
So you do like
okay.
so it's like a sandbox staging and then they
yeah.
will approve and.
Same with the, throwing out on social media, that live feed. You can go in and type whatever you want to type and to go into the live feed, but she has to have final approval,
And admin approval. Yeah, okay. It makes sense.
right? And not too many people have it. I can't even remember who has it.
Yeah, that's good.
I had a quick question. Are you gonna do climate resiliency as part of this? Are we adding that lens towards?
It's not a state mandate. Anything that you want included on that, though, we can do.
Okay.
So, West Bridgewater wanted to talk about extreme heat because that's common with the South Shore and flooding events. So, their committee actually put together a ton of information that they asked us to include. So, if there's specific topics that you have of interest in, you want to nerd out about it and send me a document, I will match it in, we'll make it flow. And there's
Alright.
stuff you want that's not a part of the mandate, like, don't feel like it can't be included for
Okay.
sure. So,
All right, because we did do the heat mapping last summer.
and that would be awesome to
Yeah.
include if it's already done, especially.
Definitely grab that
Send
one.
that over to you.
Yeah. And then,
And we're doing MVP 2.0 right now.
awesome.
Um,
You're busy, huh?
I am busy.
Girl doesn't sleep.
So anything that comes out of that,
Yeah,
we'll send along to you.
Please do, yeah.
It's been an
especially-
amazing process so far. I'm like so different than I even thought it was going
I
to be.
can't wait to see it. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
gone
very
through any
good.
of yet with any towns, so that'll
Yeah.
be cool. Awesome. Any other thoughts on this before we move on?
So you're meeting with town staff, those are things that you guys will set up on your own with these
Yeah,
other?
I'll set them up. The one-on-ones, I usually ask if I can just do it solo, because it's harder for town staff who are paid to talk in front of people
Yeah,
and
yeah,
different.
yeah.
So I'll come in as like a neutral party, and then if I'm going to talk to a commission, I can send you guys the dates and times. If you want to join, you can. If you don't want to,
Okay, cool.
don't worry about it. We'll
Alright.
take the notes and plug in the info.
Okay, all right, that's cool. You guys have anything else? You wanna, questions to add? No. Brian, anything else on your side?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you.
And so, next steps from our side, I will work on putting together an open space and rec page with a little bump out for how it works in Abington, and then we can link that back to your site, and when we post on one, we'll just post on both for consistency and clarity. I think that'll be the best bet.
Perfect.
But from our standpoint, it is nice when future towns want a contract if they can see what
The
we've
work.
done and how we've helped.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that RPAs have been around for a long time, most people aren't familiar with them, and that's fine. But this is a good way for us to teach people while we're out doing these. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Awesome. And then I have contact cards here. I also had your comments I wanted to go through, if you guys have time for that.
Yeah.
On that ADA assessment, do we need to have an ADA commission that you need?
If you have an ADA commission, and usually they'll have one handicapped person that's on that commission to go with us, that would be
Okay.
great.
right.
But if you don't, then we'll work on it on our
Okay.
end.
So I think Brian and
Yeah,
Roberta were
we-
gonna do
yeah,
that. Yeah,
we
they had already
discussed-
sort of decided that.
Yeah, the Brian.
And we don't have a commission, that's why I asked. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's something
But
we
you
need
have
to do."
somebody.
But we got
Yeah.
people, yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, both Brian and Roberta will assist when we're ready to do those
So-
ADA site visits.
And the inventory is Kevin's doing that,
Okay,
a deputy town planner.
Mhm.
He's plodding away through that.
On the parcel inventory? Good. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He keeps telling me.
It's more than people realize until
It
you get
is.
into it.
Right.
And then you'll find all those assessing errors in the parcels and,
Right.
yeah.
And
And
I don't
it's-
think we've been able to get a straight list of what we actually own. in
That's
the-
always.
Well,
the
so
biggest
here's
thing.
the problem, the way it gets listed in their database is somebody has to weed through it.
Right, right.
Because some of it is easements. And
Oh,
it's listed
yeah,
as
yeah.
open space because the town took it in part with a road, but it's an easement.
Right, right.
Because he
right.
had a picture of a house and I'm like, this has gotta be an easement.
Mhm.
But the house is not on
I
the
wonder if that's
space
like
list.
the one that
Take
you
it
have in the
off.
picture,
Yeah,
when we're looking at-
the not built for the access.
Yeah.
How do they store that information? Is it like a,
The land use
is it a
code.
giant Excel spreadsheet? Is it,
Yes.
The assessors
Big
database?
access,
Yeah.
is that public facing or is that just living locally on somebody's drive?
They have to put it together for you, but you can go in and look at different addresses. If it's,
Do you know where that is? I'm just curious.
oh, the assessors database, yeah, it's on the website under the assessors and it say valuation information. And you
Yeah,
can
just
plug in your
Google,
own address.
Abington property records.
You get so many different things.
Mhm.
Remember the maps from last meeting? Like
Yeah.
I was using the US, the state,
USGA,
the state
yeah.
one.
Use Mass Mapper.
I think I was using that, and I found a better one through actually the town's website. It was much.
Oh, our assessors
clean.
maps.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
it was blue and black, it was a dark mode, it was much cleaner and easier to read.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you this PDF, is it okay if I pull that up?
Sure. Can you answer some of those emails while you're in there?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll swap accounts with you for the week.
Sure,
We
sounds
can-
Ought to be some interesting answers people get.
We're CC'd on everything. So
Right?
you miss an hour and you've got an email system.
400 emails, I'm
Yeah,
like, stop.
I'm always answering, and my phone or my watch is always dinging constantly.
Okay,
It drives
probably
me
not at
crazy.
all what I should have just pressed.
I know
Here we
I was
go.
on a work call until 5:15, which is why I was late, so I
Look for
apologize.
myself, and
And they're
then
like, I gotta go, I can't stay on this Teams meeting anymore.
revise.
You know, it's where I'm getting paid. I gotta go do my volunteer thing.
Right, right.
Gonna backtrack and I'm gonna screen share from Zoom.
So Brian, we're just gonna review, some of the comments from the original, OSRP that we had. I think we might have even done these before you came on board. So we're gonna verbally go through them and you'll see them on the screen, what we kind of
Ongoing
first
file, as you can see.
went
So
through
anything like
originally.
that, I
when
might not
Aaron,
even read it,
Roberta,
but
and
I'm
I
throwing
got
it in the
this
file.
document in the first
So if you
place.
need information,
Yeah, I'm sorry,
I might
yours
have
is
it.
out of order.
I love it.
somewhere in the
Just so you know,
depths.
it's in- I just wanted you to have a hard copy if you want.
All right, I appreciate it.
Eventually, we can burn them, have a party and burn
Yeah,
this
I don't know that I'm
photo.
ever gonna read the whole thing, but.
We'll have a new one because of these guys.
Alright,
Okay.
so that first one is crossed out in entirety.
Yep, so that is
That's done.
completed.
Completed,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's why I wanted to.
Yep.
I uploaded that report for you today, actually, in SharePoint.
the Griffin's Dairy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't
So
know. Would
that's
we want to leave it
actually-
out altogether
And
though?
it's
'Cause-
actually not all done.
yeah, I was
It's
gonna
not
say
completed?
there could be
No.
more.
Oh, all right.
No, no. I mean, they have their own committee and they're poking away at the stuff they want to get completed down there, but,
So were those
Um,
actions not complete?
so, no, it's not, the reuse planning is not complete.
Oh, all right.
I know they plan on probably extending some of the walking trails and, I mean, eventually probably that garden will get extended.
Okay.
So I would,
So
I
then
would
we'll keep
leave, I
that.
don't know how you leave that because, I mean, it's complete as to what they want to do today.
So we'll update
Right.
that Griffin's
Yeah.
Dairy is looking to expand past their initial
Right,
improvement.
yeah. But it's, I don't think it's anybody here,
Sure.
right? It's, they have their own committee now, which they kind of didn't before. They had a committee to do the plan, then, now they have their own committee, a working committee that
That's
does all the
good,
work
they're
down there. It's
implementing.
fabulous.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like when we went through this, it was what pertained to us.
Yeah, that's
So I think it's good that we're doing this because Liz, to your point, yeah,
We had no idea.
we were handed
Yeah.
this and it was like, all right.
yeah. And 7 years never seems that long, and then you're like, wait.
Yeah, and to be
Everything's
honest,
changed.
even with what they're saying there, transfer portions planned for open space, like we've never received anything from that committee for open space to do anything, so I know this plan obviously is bigger than just this committee, so.
So maybe we can see where they're at with
Mhm.
land rights and conservation restrictions.
So acquisition of the Parecki Farm, number 2,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's ever gonna get
I
done.
was just gonna say, yeah, we can probably.
We
You
can-
can
put
leave
that as
it on there
ongoing.
and you can put that it's a legal holdup.
Yeah,
Okay.
The gentleman who owned the property died with no family except in like Ukraine or
Ukraine.
something.
yeah.
Not necessarily Ukraine, but it's
That complicates
over in that area, so.
land
and-
transfer for
right.
sure.
Yeah, so I don't even know if I think they've figured out who they are, but,
I thought Scott told us they were in the Ukraine, the family was in the Ukraine.
right. But, so I think they know who they are, but I don't know that we can complete,
Can't deal with them right now, probably. in
Right.
Ukraine.
No one in the town speaks Ukrainian.
Probably don't have
No.
much communications either right now.
well, yeah, I'm sure this is,
Current
well,
climate.
although it would allow them some money to get out of there, right?
Yeah.
So the next one about the increased conservation recreation holdings, I guess we wait till we have that list of open space that you guys can look at. I would suggest that we have a special town meeting in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
or for the next spring town meeting, that we put in an article to move the Carista property into conservation holding. So the
Where's
Carista
that?
property is up off of Route 18 behind Sorrel. And it goes way, way back, in the same direction as Helm Street. And which is that tiny road off of Route 18
Yeah.
past Sorrel. And then it moves up, Route 18, it heads north. And we bought that years ago. The chairman of the planning board actually had a relationship with the Farm Bureau, and they bought it for us, and we bought it back from them. We didn't have the money when it came on the market. When we had the right of first refusal, we didn't have the money to pay for it. So he worked out a deal, got us the land, we paid him back. But we had the right of first refusal because it was being taxed as forest land, or
Chapters.
chapter land, yeah.
Okay, so it's the Carista property?
Carista property, Carista. Quite frankly, it's a low-hanging fruit
Yeah.
that we move it in, because I know what it is, and I know it can just be thrown over there without much fuss.
Okay.
And that
That's-
would be moving into chapter 97.
Conservation
Restriction, yeah.
Yep.
Can I ask a question? And maybe this is just like wicked ignorant and off base, but just learning. So like you're ever on Google Earth or Google Maps and you zoom in and you see like a conservation area and it's like named after someone. Do towns ever have programs where like someone, I don't know, like makes a donation and they get to like name it and be the steward of it or something like that? Or is that not as
Where does
common?
the naming
Or is it
conventions
from
come
whoever donated
I was
it?
gonna say, so much of what is donated in mass was like land that was donated a long time ago, and it's usually just the original family who owned that land. So like it was like a farm, and then it got donated back to the town, and then it was eventually moved to conservation restrictions. So then it got like their last name thrown on it, or like
Parecki Farm.
in Central Mass, like everything's named after whatever brook is in it. Like everything in Central Mass is something brook something. That's like
Yeah,
every
okay.
every park. I don't know if you have any. Other.
No, but there's, so what is it, Wrights Meadow? Down by Progress Street?
You got Thompson's Pond.
Right,
Yeah,
so, again, I think you're right, spot on. I think it's the old family name, like, probably we would name this like the Carista Forest, right? Because it was the Carista property, and that's the only label in my head at this point. I can tell you we do have a program to name streets after veterans killed in action. So that we do have.
I mean, if you win the lottery and you want to donate land to
Right?
the town, I'm sure we can throw whatever
Yeah,
you
I just
want
think it would
on
be a
it
good way to
instead,
get people to like appreciate it a little more, you know, and have
Right.
some sort of like,
Right, and there's
connection and
there's some
history and
Valetka property
everything.
down somewhere, and that was Dr. Valetka. He had a practice on Bedford Street years and years and years ago. So you're right, spot on. It ends up with the family name attached to
Okay.
whoever donated it, which kind of is only fair, right, at the end of the day?
Yeah, it was originally there.
Get
Their
recognition.
land, yeah. Okay, so Carista, we'll note that to Reco, because then we have to recommend that to, Board of Selectmen, right?
So you can ask them to make it a warrant article. You can submit that yourself, and then they would approve what goes on the warrant.
Okay.
But I would think it would be pretty simple to do because we've already done other parcels of land and transferred them into conservation status, so it's really just, swapping out one map and lot for another map and lot at the end of the day. It shouldn't be that tough. And plus, we'll ask legal counsel to do it, so it's right.
And then number 4 is just an ongoing ADA compliance, and we'll have a better list of what it takes to get to that after this process. So that was not one of question. ADA is of course. And we can also add, there's some different pools of funding now since last time this was done for ADA compliance we can look at. We've had some luck with AARP has been doing a ton of grant money to help with ADA compliance for certain things, so
Oh, nice.
they have a big funding pool now, so
Okay.
different things. And then
I think we're actually
okay.
gonna be looking at that to make Island Grove, make the bridge
ADA.
compliant on the other side.
Nice.
Yeah, they'll spiffy up the front end side, but, we would actually remove one of the blocks or 2 of the blocks and make a path. So if you're going up to the right, we'd have a path
Oh, okay.
right off the bridge, up that little hill.
Yep,
They'd have to, fix the grade and everything,
yeah,
but.
yeah.
This is probably bad to say, but after all the stories, I almost want to go to Island Grove. I feel like I need to
It's a very pretty
experience.
It's
I've
beautiful.
heard, yeah.
It's
a
lovely.
pond in the middle of a pond,
Right.
which is great, and it's sandy, and the kids can go swimming, and there's a duck.
Right,
People
I would
fishing.
go when the kids are
Very
there.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
It's just, it's a grove of trees.
Sunday
So you
fun
can
day.
have,
Yeah.
randos in there, but you can have randos anywhere.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Absolutely. It just seems
Homestead
like a
design part
Well,
of
you
it.
went in like the
Experience
fall,
check.
when everything was closed down there.
Right, I
You
did.
didn't go when
I
it
did.
was all.
10 o'clock in the
but it was
morning.
like
Nice.
nice.
hit that up in the summer. Okay.
Right? Mm.
All right. Protecting watersheds will get kept. We'll probably have
So-
maybe a more detailed definition of what that looks like for the town.
So if you remind me,
Okay.
the Conservation Commission has adopted, within the last year and a half, some additional regulations,
For wetlands or watersheds? Both.
wetlands. 2020, 2021, we did stormwater bylaw and stormwater rules and regulations.
Awesome.
To
God,
help
what do you
with
even
this.
need us for?
I know, to help with the stormwater. And we adopted a tree canopy bylaw. Not this past town meeting, the town meeting before, which is relative only to site plans and subdivisions, but for every 3 trees you cut down, you have to replace, like with a mature tree.
It's a required element in this, so
Okay,
you're all covered.
glad that's all done.
Got it.
So I can send you,
The bylaws.
the tree canopy and then the regs from the conservation and the stormwater.
I'll go back through all this next week and probably re-ask you all the same questions. and
That's okay.
we'll recompile what we're needing. All right. And the other one was ongoing, and we said to combine 6 with 3, and I remember that made sense earlier.
Yeah.
So that was conservation holdings and where acquisitions and improvements were needed. So kind of getting a better.
Yes.
I'm thinking this one, and it'll depend on when you guys flush it out, but this one might not even be a standalone. You guys might have like all your projects kind of like in a database already almost. Like doing this process might actually kind of answer that one.
Okay.
And then you'll have a list of projects. Doesn't mean we need to cut it right now, but
Okay.
you know, we can create a database that's easier for the committee to update over time.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
All right, and ongoing for Ames Knoll State
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah, because we've had conversation, I think, last, when we were at the Conservation Commission meeting. Did we talk about a piece of land that would give the town rights into Ames Knoll, that one piece that's
Yeah, that would be
missing?
the Parecki property.
Oh, is that what it is? It's Baraki? Okay, so scratch that, this is ongoing. I thought there was another piece.
There's a second one.
Okay,
yeah.
but it's not, and it's not
It's
Baraki.
smaller though.
Yeah.
Is that the one where
It was
the
enough
guy
to
built the
connect?
tracks for his
Dirt.
kids to go dirt and he got in
So
trouble?
it's private property.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably, yeah, he'd have to donate, so, and he doesn't want to, that's the whole thing, that's keeping that, from you being able to fully circle the lake, right? Is
Well,
that
it's
the
those
law?
two, the Parecki and
Both
then
of
the
them,
other one.
Okay,
Should ask him for a number, what would it take, just to
Right.
know,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
have it in the back pocket.
or
Or-
just just an easement for,
Actually, we
gonna
can't
say-
do that.
you can't,
We can't
You can't
because,
approach.
I mean, you could ask him for an easement, but you can't just ask him for a number because we have to have a real estate appraiser go out and tell us what it would be
Do it.
worth in order for the town to buy any land.
have we gone to him on an easement? No, and honestly, I
Well-
mean, Ames Knoll isn't ours anyway, it's the state.
No, it's the
isn't it?
state's.
Yeah, so wouldn't it behoove the state to do that?
Not necessarily, because what would it wouldn't gain them anything, right?
What does
Well,
it
would
gain the
gain you-
town to have
It
it?
would
Well-
gain you access to full access to go around that
The
pond.
Yeah, so
Okay,
like
yeah.
our state park has a big pond in it, and there isn't like a contiguous loop around the
Yes.
whole pond. Like there's trails that just end and become like mud and
Mhm.
scrub brush and stuff. And the thought was in like Nirvana, you know, that we purchase Parecki and that other property, complete that loop, donate it to the state,
Right,
and then they
Ames
can
Knoll's
further
complete.
improve those
Yeah.
trails.
Awesome.
you know.
So the stuff where the scrub and the mud are, if that got cleared out, would it still be state property? Or where that ends is where the private property is?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
Where that
Yeah, the
ends is
ladder.
kind of where they get to private
Alright.
property. So from what I've heard, the state park, they're not able to maintain it because it's not their property.
Mm-hmm.
okay. I would say if you can get a park ranger, they have that app on their phone, that they can walk up and tell you where that line is. Because when that guy was running his ATV out there, that's who was out there, was a park ranger trying to figure out what land he was on. And that might be helpful to have a definitive line on whose property is who, and then if it's a state, maybe they could clear it out. Because there was some town of Abington property back there when they were talking about all of that. I didn't pay that much
So maybe
attention.
we should also do a review of the assessor's map for that part of the town once the parcels are all updated.
All right.
And then that could tie into like marking some of the trails. You know, I know they've talked
Yeah.
about connecting the rail trail to the park and everything.
So part of that we are working on with this out here. Because we had them do the, John Stone did the bike trail from Washington Street up past the high school, and then you hit this compound, and then you're gonna be able to go behind the library up to Broad Meadow. And
Oh, it is happening.
yeah, it's being designed right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about it with conservation at the last.
Yeah,
meeting.
no, it's,
We
yeah.
knew it was, there was talk, but we didn't know if it was
It's-
action.
It's being designed, they took them a long time to flag the wetlands out there, and then
Yeah.
when they get out there, the wetlands are now a problem. Shocking.
Yeah.
To where they wanted to put the path, so we all met and kind of went around, like how they could kind of weave around that.
Mhm.
So it won't be cost prohibitive for us to throw in the thing. So, once the design is finished, we can apply for grant money to build the trail.
Okay.
So, one step at a time, right? I know everything is crawling slow as mud, but that's how it rolls.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And Island Grove just makes sense. I don't. We know that there will be a list, and we'll keep going through that.
So just so you know, they are updating, I think, the play set up there right now. That was,
Okay,
we got
play
some
set
CPA
too.
money for that this spring. So maybe I get a list of CPA projects
That'd be
and
great.
send them to you.
Or you can just put me in contact with the CPA, because I'm gonna have to meet with them anyway, so.
Okay,
And then I can have them.
all right, I'll send Kelly's info to you.
Awesome. Okay. Playground, that's what I was writing. 9 was crossed out. Is that because it's under state control? Sorry, it would be helpful if I scroll down for you, Brian.
That was our thought, Liz, I guess you couldn't
Yeah.
tell us otherwise.
Nope,
Nope,
that's
state
exactly it.
control.
Although,
Okay.
did the algae get treated, didn't it? Am I not, didn't they get that treated up
I
there?
don't know.
And I'm.
I just-
No, at Ames Knoll.
No,
I
yeah, we did that
remember-
last year up at Ames Knoll. I thought we were using the same group that did Ames Knoll because they had to go before conservation. Or
I
maybe it
didn't
was a
know that there
different
was
pond.
even swimming there
I think that was at
Maybe that's-
Island
that
Grove.
there isn't.
They did the algae.
because of the.
They used to be years ago.
Yeah.
That is, that's,
As a private
Plant
citizen, I go to anywhere
Right.
there's water, I go, am I allowed to put my boat in here? Can I put my canoe in the water? Is that, somebody gonna yell at me? Is it
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
So I-
Well, it's, I mean, that says add boating and boating program and establish camping, but again, I mean, that's state,
That's all up to the state, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we crossed that out, just being
Yeah,
like,
because
no one
they
should
said-
swim in there. That's nasty.
You're like, that doesn't sound like a good
Yeah,
idea,
why
just
Nope.
for us.
Why we can spend our funds when the state can spend their
Yeah.
funds, you know?
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see. Improve access to Walnut Street Conservation Area and Riverside Trails. I don't even really know much about this. We didn't know if this was sold or not, and Megan is somebody who was on the committee when we first started and she moved.
Okay.
I don't know if we ever heard back from Scott on that. Do you recall anything on Walnut?
Yeah, I don't
You
either.
know.
It's Walnut anyways.
I have no idea.
You know where Summer
Do you-
Street is?
Yeah,
And then you know that four-way intersection?
yeah.
That intersecting road is Walnut Street. So it comes off of
Whitman.
Center Ave, and then it goes all the way to Whitman.
Oh, okay,
That's
that's
Walnut?
Walnut.
That's Walnut.
Oh, yeah, and goes all the way to Whitman, yeah,
Yep.
'cause I have a friend that lives on that street, that's Walnut, okay.
Yeah,
But it goes by the, is that the North School?
Center.
School. Center,
Center
okay.
School.
Okay. So Walnut Street Conservation Area, is there an existing Walnut Street Conservation Area? Because I don't know of
Does-
one.
Was that one sold off in the auction?
Well, that's what.
I think
that's
it
what
was.
I thought,
It might
but we
have been,
weren't
too.
sure.
All right,
Which we'll
so,
also know when we get the assessors.
Yeah, I'd like to see that,
Yeah.
because we didn't even know about this Christie's program.
so that actually we should get the list
Yeah.
of land that was auctioned.
Okay, auction land list.
when was there an auction?
What was that, 2020 or
No,
2019?
it's 22,
21, 22?
22?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
21.
21 or 22, I think we started in 21, didn't we?
Yeah, I think you're right.
22, because it's 24 now.
Yeah.
I think it's only been 2 years, so, yeah, 22, I think.
I don't know, all that
Okay.
COVID time hurt my brain.
I know, we lost a year. Okay, so
Townwide
then,
bike system.
moving on, 11, yeah, townwide trail, all right, so
Safe
that's
routes to school.
continuing to work.
Yep.
We crossed out the optimum use of former landfill. I don't, I mean, Liz, is it former?
Yes,
It is former,
Yes.
it's not being used at all anymore.
well, we're using it for
Compost and
a compost
recycle?
site,
Yeah.
and we're using it for the swap shop. The problem with optimizing that would be the depth to which we would have to clean it is
Mhm.
expensive.
Yeah, so,
We've done what we've been required to do.
yeah,
If you want to reuse that land and have people on it,
Yeah.
it has to meet a completely different
right,
level.
right, right.
So
I think
I'm
that
not
was-
sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons we were like,
Yeah,
and it's, where it's located is like, there's not, I mean, there's not a lot of parking. I mean, I guess you could park in there, and create parking, but
right, and
it's,
long time ago in a land far away, before Cape Cod Lumber moved in, there was that
Yeah.
golf tee place, which was a kind of recreational place, and it would have made sense maybe to join those two
connect.
up.
Yeah, but
But
not anymore.
that's gone,
Yeah,
and,
okay,
yeah.
so we wanna keep that off.
Yep.
Unless
We
you
could
guys
do
have
a,
any other comments on that.
Community garden on the landfill?
Sure, sure. Let me get you some wastewater from where they're cleaning the PFAS, and you can water your garden with that, a whole recycling process.
That's like
Sure,
in
town
Hanover.
council would love that.
Right? Yummy.
That's like in Hanover where they built all the houses on the old fireworks factory land.
I'm just thinking of Granite Links in Milton where they capped the dump, took all the big dig fill, and now there's a beautiful golf course.
Right.
You can see the city from.
Yeah.
Right, but, I mean, you do have to clean it to a certain point, or they won't let, there's no recreation on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. All right, so we'll move on from that. That's good. That's out. Development of scattered community gardens. That was, Aaron, to your point. We do want to continue down that path. Right now, the only one I think we have is at
Griffin's.
Griffin's. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea as part of our, the climate resiliency stuff we're working on. That has come up multiple times,
Okay.
especially for populations that may not have cars and can't get to Griffin's. And so to have a neighborhood area for gardens, like having the neighborhood playgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
right, would be a great idea.
And it almost feels like the next one is semi-tied to that. The encouragement of new small-scale agriculture.
Yep.
Maybe we just combine those.
Yeah.
And make that a little bit easier.
Well, everybody's getting their chickens now, so that's working out
I
well,
know,
moving towards
right?
that, right?
I know. I would love to buy some fresh eggs. I get them in like Whitman and Hanover right now.
I actually got them at the Great Abington Yard Sale.
Did you?
I stopped at somebody's house and they would sell them.
They
I'm
were
like,
selling 'em?
oh my God, I'll
I
take
feel
two.
like half the time I go by, if there's a house in Abington that has them, I go by and they're sold for the day. So I'm like, I'm too late.
Okay. Last two, and then I promise everybody can go
Okay,
home.
perfect.
Not work anymore today.
Yeah. Maintaining an informed public. I feel like that's kind of just a given.
Yeah.
I don't know if that needs to be
And I
called
would
out
say
for.
that you guys are probably more ahead of neighboring communities with a website and an app, and so just continuing
I
outreach.
think I think though, part of this, that work with the water department to publicize protective practices and the disposal of oil and stuff like that, I think you could work with the Board of Health, with the water department, and maybe have some of those tips on your website as well, like share that information.
Yeah.
Yard waste and fertilizer is a
Yeah.
big one.
We have graphics and stuff. We get
That
put
would
up
be
there.
great, because
Yeah,
another
those
project
are-
not long-term, but at some point, what is it, the North River Watershed?
Mhm.
We'll do a program to help you know what not to use in your yard that gets into our water stream. So I was thinking of that for the people who live around Island Grove. I mean, for everybody, but specifically for the people who live around Island Grove,
Yeah.
might be using products that can be harmful to the water.
Mhm.
When
I have no
walked
idea about
Thompson's, I literally was stepping over all the piles of grass clippings, and as I was walking out, a guy was walking in with one of the big green things full of grass clippings to
Toss.
dump back there.
Yeah, I mean, the call out we had was make community aware of active open spaces, trails, gardens, etc.
Yeah,
I think it's just communicating better cross-functionally
right.
with different departments. And then, the last one there. I don't know that we need to cross it out. I think we just need, it's tied to point 10. So
Okay.
I think we just need to find out what happened with Walnut, if it was sold, if it's town's property, and if so, then, yeah, I think it would be awesome to look at creating a river trail system. I just don't know where we're at with that land, so.
Okay. That's fine. This is just gives me a good idea of what the ongoing projects have been and where you're at. So this
Yeah,
was
and one
super
thing we
helpful.
didn't call out was a
Town
town
forest,
forest, yeah, so a town forest is something that this committee's pretty committed to, exploring, Rockland has one, all the towns around us really have one, we have the rail trail, but we'd like to actually have a town forest, a place where people can go. We've started down that path of exploring Thompson's Pond area with the Conservation Commission, and so far they were on board. Obviously, we'll see,
Is that part of the Yebes though?
It's not. We own the Thompson's Pond piece of Abington is not part of the Union Point
It touches it though,
open
right?
space, yeah. It touches it, so it's also adjacent to the end of the Rockland Town Forest, which is why we thought it would be.
Okay.
Oh,
You
cool.
could potentially park on the we'd work with Rockland obviously, but park in their parking that they have
Come all the way.
on that way and then
That-
create a trail that would move us
Spruce Street
over.
was over, we do a double park and
Where
people
they-
all up and down the road this
Yeah.
weekend, just trying to go out there and go walking. So
Yeah.
it's a hot
Oh, that little parking lot that Union Point
People were
built.
parked into that, I'm sure there were a lot of
Did they
upset
build it on the
people.
They
Rockland
did.
side?
There's
Yeah.
one on
No,
the
it's on our
left, too.
side.
Oh, it's on Isaac, because the
Yep.
Rockland has one on their side, that's on the right-hand side if you're heading into Abington, on Spruce Street.
Yeah, that's
the one
in
you're talking about?
Abington, yeah.
That's in
Well,
Rockland.
That's in Rockland, yeah.
That little parking lot that they built?
Yep.
Oh, okay, oh,
It's
yeah,
right
right, you're
across
right,
the
you're
street
right.
from the
It's right
Rockland.
before the, yeah. It's right
There's
before
two
the,
parking, one for there and then one for the base.
The base, oh, is there a
Yeah.
separate, there's a separate base one?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Could you send us the parcel ID numbers of the lots that you think would be appropriate for the forest? Just so we can
Well,
identify it
once
on
we-
maps and really take a look at it.
Let's see,
I
parcel
can tell
ID
you it's in the
numbers.
Charles River watershed. I know that helps you not.
Yeah.
We just had to adopt
Well,
more
it's Spruce Street on the Abington
on the
Rockland
Rockland.
line.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
right
so
over the line.
I can pull up a state parcel map and see if we can figure out if it's split in chunks or if it's one big.
Okay.
Parcel lines get weird, so we can take
Yeah.
a look if it's.
So
like
I
actually
know
one
what you're
piece.
talking about now, the
If
end of
there's
that
the train
Rockland
tracks,
Trail.
Yeah.
commuter
Yeah,
rail.
but they,
Yeah.
Union
Yeah.
Point
Own it.
Yeah.
So it's
did
the
build
regional
it
train
for
tracks, and
access
there's,
to their
Union Point,
land.
Right.
Southfield,
Yeah.
L&R,
Yeah.
whoever
Okay.
owns it now.
Okay.
And then in between those
Yeah, but
two.
Rock-
That was in
border
the
and
day when
train
they were trying to
tracks,
be
there's
nice
a
to us
big
one day.
Swath of land with a
Long
body of
time
water,
ago.
and that's
Before
Town
Lennar
owned it?
left.
that's
Oh, look
the
what we're
town
doing for you
found.
guys. We cleaned it all up, built your
Town owns that,
parking
they
lot.
bought it.
Oh, good.
We wanna get it in conservation and it's
Yeah.
an option for our town forest.
Yeah, it'd
Awesome.
be great.
Okay, cool.
Thompson's, is that what you said?
Thompson Pond.
So,
Yeah, because Thompson's is town owned already.
sorry, Brian, was there anything you wanted to add?
Okay.
We got a little carried away there. We got excited.
Laura, you good for town parcels? Rihanna?
Okay,
You'll get it, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Brian, you're good?
Yeah, I'm good. You did most of this before I was on the committee, so I'm also supportive of everything that you talked about.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
So,
All right,
um,
next steps for us to meet with you guys.
so I was thinking, I'm using your computer just because I can't know dates off my head. So in 100% transparency, we have a ton of project deadlines for June 30th.
Yep,
So my May is just like crammed.
that's fine.
So if we could meet
July.
June or July, whenever you guys have a meeting, in that time. In the meanwhile, though, I'll still do things. You guys have my email. You guys can email me whenever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So please reach out. My work number's on that. Who needs it? Got it.
We'll take a picture and send it to him.
Oh, yeah,
Brian?
Brian, we'll
Yeah.
send you, we'll send you a.
It's also
Yeah, that's fine. We can wait until June. You have stuff to go. We're still, processing and I think.
In the meanwhile, you guys can go through the analysis. Let me know what edits it needs.
Okay.
I'll have. Liz, is it okay if I have you just email them the documents I sent you today?
Sure.
Send it out to the committee.
Okay. And we'll review it. We'll plan to review it next month
Okay.
at our next meeting.
So we'll just slowly get the ball rolling. You guys are kind of, like I said, already ahead because that survey's done before we're even really starting the initial kickoff. So
Awesome.
you guys and your town is in great shape.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
Well, thanks.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming down. I
Thank
didn't
you.
even realize you were coming in person. We thought you were on Zoom. That's why
Oh.
we set the Zoom thing
Oh.
up originally. And Brian's like, oh, well, I'll jump on Zoom too. So
Yeah, you can
No,
just let us know what the
this
preference
worked out.
is.
Yeah, no. We can
Especially
do
in
Zoom
the
future.
winter months
Yeah.
too. I was gonna say, or in
Yeah.
the summer when nobody wants to be
Right, yeah.
in town hall. We'll figure
Unless
it out.
it's
You guys
like
just let
a
me know.
nice chilly 30 degrees in here and it's, 102 out.
Absolutely.
Right.
Then I'll be happy to be here.
I mean, worst case, we can meet in the park. Like, I'll just print out slides like this. And
Yeah.
I'm flexible. You guys just let me know.
Doesn't somebody have a
So-
big movie screen that they use?
Yeah, one of those outside things.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
married to buy us one of those.
My
and
cousins bought one for the
Oh, did they?
kids, because
Yeah.
all the kids outside.
Yeah.
and-
Movies
Yeah.
in the summer.
Yeah.
That's
So cute.
awesome.
That's high on my list of things to purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds.
For the kids,
fun.
it keeps them home. Anytime you keep them home.
Nice projectors are expensive, though. They go for,
Yeah.
get the little ones.
Mass Maritime grads,
Okay, so we'll plan to meet with you guys in end of June.
Yeah, and you guys just when you guys are picking your next dates, just let us know.
Okay.
figure it all out.
Yeah, we typically, we're the last Wednesday of the month,
Okay.
or the fourth Wednesday of the month is what we try to do, but we'll
Same
confirm
night as
with
our
you.
council meetings, so it gets us out of our council meetings.
Oh, if you wanna get out.
That's what all those dings were, everyone at the council meeting.
I was
Okay.
like, is Mary having a nervous
Yes,
breakdown?
she's
while
texting
we're at
me
a meeting?
constantly
I
in a
heard
meeting.
just thinking.
And I'm like, what can I
Were
do?
you taking pictures to show her?
Yes,
we're at
we're
a
still
physical
working
meeting?
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we
alright.
put them in
Rhiannon's
the plans,
productive.
and
We gotta
I'm
go.
always forgetting to take the photos, and like, she tells me,
Right, yeah.
so she'll text me, take the photos.
All right, that's perfect. So we'll reach out to you guys for sure via email, let you know about June. In May, we'll meet, in May.
By the way, this is the pond, isn't it pretty?
So pretty.
Mark went and did a whole, like,
Do you have a canoe launch in there and everything?
There is not. I would love to see them put a
That's-
dock somewhere, especially on the part that's not on the airbase, because it'll be a little hard to
Mm-hmm.
drag a canoe
Something
through.
close,
Good,
yeah.
good exercise doing it.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
nice Eagle Scout project.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, was conservation was like, you guys should work with the Eagle Scouts, you should work with the mountain biking, community, and we said, well, we kind of want to like get this plan nailed down a little bit more before we start approaching those,
Absolutely, yeah.
groups.
Flesh out
because-
your ideas.
Yeah,
that
and
way.
also, they need funding from us? Like, we need more concrete information before we can just start like branching out, so.
We're gonna start doing some bed. It's getting late.
I know.
Bike and ped.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have connectivity areas that, you'd like to see improved, let us know, because that'll go in our other report for the whole region.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think
And,
Liz, that would probably for the bike trail that
Yep.
you guys
Yeah.
are working on.
Yeah, we're desperately trying to connect Washington Street all the way up down into Ames Knoll.
Oh,
And part of that is easy enough, it's a bike path, those roads are wide enough, presidential, that subdivision was built with these huge wide roads, so there's already a bike path on one of them.
Mhm.
The problem is us, and the subdivision it lands in, the road is wide enough for a bike path. The problem is Hancock Street, because that's a narrow road, minimal sidewalk area, and no way, we can't expand it,
there's
really,
no
there's no way to.
shared use path or anything
No,
you could think?
no. So, anyway, we're doing the safe routes. You guys are working on that regional plan, and we're applying for a grant for
And the
some
complete
safety
street.
measures here.
About Linwood.
That's like 300 feet though, Hancock Street
Oh,
though,
yeah.
right? From Broadmeadow over to
We don't even have a
Presidential.
sidewalk.
Right, unless you go around the other way, but it would be difficult to get bikes out across, because it's, fast. People are driving too fast on the road.
Crossing the street.
And crossing the street safely,
I was just want to do up and over.
I was just gonna say pedestrian.
right? Would be
I know the
nice.
Rotary.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
Rotary.
one of the, as a result of that, one of the things we're gonna do in that safe routes study thing is, on Hancock Street. Do different kinds of, slowing the traffic down measures. So we'll do a study and then that, in Center Ave, I think,
Was it Linwood? Was it
Linwood is.
It's terrible.
Terrible,
Yeah.
terrible.
That's been brought up at town meeting.
Just doing the large wide speed humps with the bike trail or crosswalk going on, painted on top of it.
maybe, right?
Yeah, because we were having a conversation about DW Field Park about those because it's easier for the plows than
Oh,
random
yeah.
speed bumps that cause them to slam into them
Right,
and break
right.
everything. But the steady
Slope.
sloped speed humps are easier for the plows to go up
Yeah.
and over.
Yeah,
And people have been doing them crosswalk with now, so you get like a 2-for-1
yeah,
That's a good idea.
cool stuff.
with a flashing light.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's all that flashing
Right.
lights.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Is it
part of the
solar?
conversation.
Is it a solar charge?
Solar charged flashing light, yeah. So anyway, fingers crossed we get that money and we can roll some of this fun stuff out around town. That I will probably get caught at 1,000 times over.
All right, we will let you guys go. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. And we'll finish wrapping our
been
stuff up
fun.
and get out of here.
Thank you, Mr. Ian.
Right, we'll let you off shortly. We'll finish wrapping up our
Funny,
stuff
didn't hear me.
together.
Good to meet you. Look forward to seeing you in person next time.
Bye, Brian.
Liz, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
See
it.
you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Safe travels,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you for your presentation. conservation.
Smash my knee so hard on the thing,
Oh,
squeeze it in.
But I'm talking about the path, I'm like-
Laurie, did you forget your vest?
I would No.
remember it when I get my car.
I know, right?
And it got
Great jacket.
Pie in the sky. Do a bridge over the water to get around the land. It's not just do
Yeah, really.
like the Sugar Bowl down in
Oh, okay, so we'll speak, so that was good. You guys have any feedback? You want to chat now? We can push it to the next meeting. Let's do it.
Now, I am a little curious. What I know this is the key. I wonder what doors it opens in terms of grants. If there's a list, we can look at it.
Well, I
There's a
think
lot,
Yeah.
there's a lot, but it's gonna depend on what the report, what they end up coming out with in the OSRP. That whatever they put it in, like what we just reviewed, will determine which different grants that we can go after. So there are grants on the Mass State Gov website that you can look at for, there's the CSA stuff, right, or CPA.
From the town.
From the town, and the Conservation Preservation Act, I think is that, those funds.
It's in your taxes, if you ever look at your taxes,
Mhm.
everybody
Mm.
pays it quarterly.
But then there's specific grants for specific projects, so like she was saying, like hockey, like if there's a hockey grant out there for us to put out an outdoor hockey rink in, we can, if that's in the plan, we can go after it. If it's not, then we obviously wouldn't be able to apply for it.
Are you
So-
sure about that though? I thought you just had to have a plan, but you have to have a plan, and you can only apply for fundings for CPA for things that are in that plan.
Not CPA, no, I'm talking about different grants in general, so like, if you don't have, a hockey plan in here, you can't apply for a hockey grant. Not CPA, that's different.
I think we should try to get some clarity on that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that mean
You
that's,
should write that down, too, we could ask her.
because I'd be curious about that. You know, because like, what if we write this plan and then something comes up and it's a great, open space initiative,
I've been looking into just like sidewalks, and to get a sidewalk, I think it's like Chapter 9 money. And
I don't think
you have to be in a list, the plan for that sidewalk has to already be planned for on like a list of potential projects. So if you want to do
in the
sidewalk, you
master,
have,
I think that's in
Yeah.
the master plan, not in the open space and rec
but I
plan.
think it hasn't, I looked at the plan, it hadn't been updated since 2019 for the sidewalk plan.
Well, the master plan was updated in 2019.
Yeah, so,
So I think they're 20, so they still have like another 2 years, I think, before that has to be updated again.
mhm.
But it's, you know what, it's worth asking, like, what grants can we apply for once this is
Yeah,
completed?
I figure it's the same thing. I assume it was the same thing. You have to plan far ahead for these, right?
Yeah, I mean, cause it's gonna cover the next 7 years. And then basically in year 5 of your plan, you need to start developing for your next plan. Like, we were handed this plan was completed in 2015. We were handed this in 22 when we came on board. So it's already obsolete, and we're behind the ball by 2 years.
So
We
So-
can't go for any
if we
funding.
want to, if we want to
Right.
get, if we want
Right.
to get agricultural space, it needs to be in here. So we
Mm.
apply for the grants. If we want to get the town forest, it needs to be in here, we apply for the grants.
Yeah,
So,
because CPA, I think you can apply for it I think the town applies for it, and then they decide how they want to delegate it. But it has to be like they applied for CPA, I think, for
They
right
bought the
behind.
land here, too, with the CPA fund.
Right. I think like you have to have an intention
and
when
they-
you're applying for the grants.
And they just did a CPA fund for, the school,
Mm-hmm.
like doing the whole, where the football field is, they're gonna redo that for like a master plan for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, I think that's in the I think that
Yeah.
might be in
And I
their
think
master
even,
plan.
like, once you even go for the CPA funds, it has to go to town meeting or something too, to be voted and approved.
On what you're spending it
Yeah,
on,
yeah, so it's like a very large process of everything.
Like everything, I know. Okay, so if we want, we can, since it's already 7:05, if we want to, at our next meeting in May, we can discuss the takeaways from the Conservation Commission meeting. Brian, we can talk about if you've gotten any additional feedback or findings from, the town on the social media. It sounds like, I mean, we already have the ability to change the site, and we just have to get Sam's approval if we're gonna do any changes there.
Yeah, the next thing I want to work on with that is trying to reach out to the high school, just get some photography and get sort of that almost inventory of open spaces
Yep.
that are there now. Because there's no list of them anywhere in the town website that I can find.
Yeah, so
That's
Kevin's,
sort of my next step with that.
yeah, Kevin's gonna be working on that, and that's also in conjunction with this, so I think that's kind of dual pathed at this point, time-wise.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is more, probably gonna be more of like a database, it's not very user-friendly. I'm thinking it's like a pictures and like you can go for a hike here or play a sport here or something like that. that
Yeah.
the public could need to. So I think they're similar but different.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm saying he's gonna compile the list. From that list, we can find the maps and whatnot to make it look pretty and all that stuff. But until we have a list, we don't truly know what is ours and what's conservation and what's open space, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Right.
once we have that, then I think you can take your next steps on trying to, prettify it.
Yep.
If that's even a word. And I know Mark can help with that too, if he wants to.
Yeah, happy to.
Okay. The last thing I have is select future meeting dates. The two dates I had were Wednesday, May 22nd or the 29th. If you guys are good with it, I'd prefer the 29th.
I would also prefer the 29th.
Okay, Brian, how's that look for you?
Yeah, should be fine.
Okay,
Yep.
Roberta,
Yeah, it works for me
the
too.
29th, okay, so we'll do,
So, is that the 4th?
May
or is it the-
29th. It's the, I think it's the 5th in that
Okay,
month.
so it's the last one.
1, 2, 3, 4, but yeah, it's the 5th.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll plan, and we have RTC that night
Yeah.
too, so that works,
No, we
kind of
got
works out.
everything, yeah.
Okay. Alright, I don't have anything else. If you guys don't have anything else, do I hear a motion to
Do you wanna
adjourn the
mention
meeting?
about,
Oh,
cleanup?
yes, so, thank you for reminding me. This Saturday, the 27th, is Ames Knoll Cleanup Day. If anybody wants to participate,
Yeah, I think they said
participate
9
9 to
a.m.
1.
Everyone's
Is it
meeting up down there.
9 to 1.
Yeah.
It's also election day, so that's also concurrently happening. So if anybody's going to vote, that's, I think, at Beaverbrook from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you can make it over to vote and then go over to Ames Knoll and help. I have my women's retreat this Friday night and then Saturday, so at church, so I actually happens to be at the same time as Ames Knoll cleanup, so I won't be there, but if anybody wants to attend, that's going on this weekend. So, all right, anything else?
A motion to adjourn?
Okay. Any second?
Seconded.
Okay, so let's roll call. Motion to adjourn. Roberta?
I
Or
agree.
you motioned. Yes. Mark?
Yes.
Nope, we gotta stay here. I'm just kidding.
Brian?
Yes.
Okay, motion is approved to adjourn. Thank you, guys.